Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique, where I take a look at a different Kickstarter project every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and give you my honest thoughts on how that Kickstarter tabletop game is being ran. And today, I'm very excited to be checking out CastleScape, the deck-building board game. Scheming guilds compete to spread influence and build the castle while ... by Josh Horsley, Prioritied Board Games. So first and foremost, Prioritied Board Games' Twitter account has like the little lock symbol next to it, which is a first impression. It's a very bad first impression when I see that. It's like when I go to updates and I see locked updates, I'm immediately like, why? What do you possibly have to hide? So Josh, bad look on that one. I might open up that Twitter account. Also, one thing right here, these are kind of tiny to see. Now, I will say when we get to the main image, they actually look really good, because that's what most people design these for, but you got to realize that a lot of people are going to be looking at it from this perspective, because right now you are 30th, and not a lot of people might not get down to 30th, so you really got to wow them, and I can barely tell this is 2 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, and 45 to 90 minutes. Now, I will say I understand what you did here. You specifically mentioned that this is a deck-building board game, and that gets me excited, because when I think deck building, I don't think of whatever all this stuff is, but still, we're sitting here at 18,000 out of 20,000, which means, you know, this is not launched off the way they had hoped it is. Now, it's going to get funded, obviously, it still has 20 days to go, but let's keep our eyes open and try and pinpoint what could potentially be holding back this Kickstarter. Scheming guilds compete to spread influence and build the castle while preparing for the king's inspections. Meh. You know, I look this, and honestly, I'm more excited about the word deck building and this than any of this stuff right here. Spread influence. Is it area control? Just tell me area control. Don't beat around the bush. Don't be clever. Don't intertwine the theme. Area control. Build the cast. You know, this is the spot where you really got to wow me, and I don't think, like, at the front, I'm wowed. But, let's hit the video.
A king's castle is his home, is it not? So, swear thy allegiance to me, not with words, but with a castle so grand and magnificent that it will span the ages. And I, as thy king, with the full intention of worthily rewarding your services, shall bestow unto one of thee all that is desired.
Build the castle. Cool.
CastleScape is a deck-building area control game for 2 to 4...
Ooh, I like that shot right there. I like what they did there. Real subliminal, but they gave me a firm grasp of just how thick this box is going to be. It's a pretty thick box. So when I get to that shipping price, when I get to the sticker shock, it won't be as bad, because I'll be like, all right, this is going to be a hefty, hunky box.
An area control game for 2 to 4 players.
There you go. Don't put that garbage about the theme in that spot. You just did it right there. Let's hear it again. This is what should be up there. Love it.
To one of thee,
not this.
All that is desired. CastleScape is a deck-building area control game for 2 to 4 players.
There we go.
Taking the roles of guild masters competing against one another as they build a castle to appease their king.
I get it. You're setting everything up. I don't particularly like it. Right now, I just want to know what kind of deck building you're doing. It looks like I see the biro that is going to be changing from time to time, it looks like right here, but then also some cards you can potentially purchase all the time over here. We got little pieces which you're going to be adding to the castle. Just get to it.
Players will take turns building castle walls and aim to form them into baileys. Whenever a bailey is completed, renown points will be awarded to the player with the most influence in that bailey, and based on how large that bailey is. Each player has their own unique deck of cards, which they use to take actions during the game. Each player begins the game with a base deck of 10 cards, but they can add new cards to their deck by visiting the marketplace and spending gold.
Okay.
Players will also have to position their recruits to spread the guild's influence, trying to outmaneuver their opponents in the process. They must also try to complete contracts from the king and specific goals for each game to get bonus renown. Along the way, they might scheme against the other guilds and choose to perform questionable deeds in the back alley. However, they must balance their actions with how much infamy and corruption they accrue.
Really? That track right there definitely looks pretty cool. Because, you know, in some games, obviously, you do bad things happen. I think at Terraforming Mars, you play some of the get-rich-quick cards, so to speak, and you lose victory points. So I like this aspect of the game. This is interesting.
They accrue by performing them. For alas, at the end of each round, whenever the king visits to inspect the progress on his castle,
too much rules.
He will strip influence from each guild based on their infamy level. At the end of the game,
I always say it, there's a very thin line to straddle with how much rules you talk about. And for this one personally, like, I don't feel like I was wowed enough maybe at the beginning that I'm getting a little bored with the rules. Whereas yesterday, I don't remember what the game. I don't remember what the game was, but I was totally wowed, and then I was like, okay, I want more rules. Now it's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
The player with the most renown is the winner.
We know.
In this highly strategic and fresh take on the deck builder genre, players will get to enjoy some heavy player interaction and nearly unlimited replayability. So, will you build and maintain influence over the biggest Baileys? Will you prove to the king that you are the greatest guild master in the land, so he can bestow you with riches, power, and renown for all time?
Come on.
CastleScape, now on Kickstarter.
We know. We're here. I didn't like that video. I don't know what it was. There was a lot of little things that just didn't do it for me in the video. It has everything it needs. It has the moving parts. It has the pictures. It tells me about the different mechanisms, what's going on. It didn't do it for me. Something about that video is off. And let me know in the comments what you thought about that video. And if it wasn't a video for you, what about it in particular? Because I just can't. I don't know if I could pinpoint it. But it just didn't wow me. That video did not. All right, so Josh Horsley, 2 created 60 bucks. Let's check it out. So make sure the first game is out. Make sure it's released. It's not. So this was a relaunch. No biggie. Let's take a look at the original. Yeah, I can see why you might want to... Like that... yeah, I don't think people are going to like that. I personally don't mind it, but I don't think people are going to like that. Clever and devious players compete to spread influence throughout a... Okay, so this is definite improvement over that, but I still... it doesn't wow me. It doesn't wow me. Okay, so what do we got? No video. Oh, yeah, no video. Oh, wait, was this even... Did this even launch? I don't even know if this even launched. Yeah, it looks like it... I don't know. All right, so, anywho, first-time backers. As always, there's the 3 things that I need to be convinced of. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? So, the do I want it, I'm going to give it a tepid check mark. Yes, kind of, because I'm really intrigued. You know, you're talking about doing deck building in a way that I haven't seen deck building done before, which in itself gets me excited about any game because it's a very, very popular genre, and I love that genre. So I'll give it a very tepid check mark on the do I want it. Can you do it? No. You show me you're great at graphic design. I mean, you show me great with all the great moving parts and moving pictures, but this is I'm going to guess this is Tabletop Simulator or something right here, but this is not real components. So the can you do it? I need more. And how much is it? Hopefully we get down to it. I do have a good idea of what the box size is, though, which is always a great thing. So game overview. Oh, wow. Right down to the point. Love it. $55. So $60 MSP. You're showing me exactly what it is. Cool. Love to see that converted into different currencies. But hey, whatever. Half of the people who are going to back this, most likely, half the people in the that back on Kickstarter are from the United States of America. Deck building plus area control, 2 to 4 players, 14 plus, 45 to 90 minutes. And I do want to reload this real quick because I'm going to bet this looks really good right here. Yeah, it does. Like, that looks big and bold, but when you get to that main image, it's not as large. All right, so we got a quote. Oh, wow, Richard. Oh, well, not so Richard, but it's still Rondo. Rondo's run-through, I should say. I will always say it is hard to do an area control game well at 2 players. This absolutely does it. Okay, it's good to know. I mean, it's not a bad quote. It's just, yeah. CastleScape. The king has commissioned a magnificent... Yeah, so we're the theme. I will play this game multiple times and can give it my seal of approval. It was a great game, and I will be backing day one. John Zinsler, the guy who runs AEG. Okay, so that's a great quote right there. That's from a name that you don't typically see, but it's the top dog at a very big company saying, this is a great game. So that's good. Doesn't tell me why, but still, good. 1 game board. 18 by 18 quad fold. Love to see that converted into the other, away from inches into millimeters, but I guess apparently they are much more intelligent about that sort of thing. I don't think most Americans can convert inches to millimeters, whereas I'm pretty sure the rest of the world could do that better than we can, which is super embarrassing considering we're pretty much the only people who use inches. God, America. 4 guild boards, and I do like they're giving me the size of all this. This is great. 9 by 9, 2 by 3. So, so 169 cards. So the price, yeah, I don't have an issue with the price. Like, that's, quite honestly, I think you should spotlight that price up here. You know, in the land that we have now of $80, $70, $90, $120, $260, $430, $55, I say, oh wow, that sounds like what the price of a game should be. Not to mention, look again, the spotlighting, just how large this box is. So, how much is it? I'm giving this a check mark already. I think they did a great job of that aspect. It's just the do I want it, can you do it? Not the biggest fan of. All right, so Let's see. We got some quotes, got moving parts, moving pictures. What's in the box? This is, and honestly, your price is so low, and the box is so big that I'm already pretty much sold. 100 Castle Walls. CastleScape has found a novel way to mix deck building and area control. I'm looking forward to playing it with both my hardcore and newer gamer friends alike. That's a great quote. That lets me know that there's some meat here, while at the same time being something that could be, maybe not gateway. I doubt it's going to be gateway with area control and deck building, but, you know, maybe a step up or 2 steps up. So we got a run through. Is this a gameplay of it? Yeah, looks like a gameplay of it. Awesome. Play cards and resolve effects. Cool. More into it. What do I want to see? What do I want to see? I want to see shipping. That's it, you know? And I'd like to know who you're manufacturing through. That's the other thing. Yeah. The can you do it? I need more. Like, you show me right now that you understand what you need to do by having a Rondo's run-through video and having a quote from, like, a CEO of a big board game company. You know, I say big, but board games are not a large hobby compared to other hobbies. But still, you know, that's a big deal. Those are great things to have. I'm still not quite convinced on the can you do it. What is this? This looks weird. Oh, it looked like that was going to be like some crazy sort of box, but it's just a castle. It's just a 3D castle. We're updating our terms. Oh, wait, no. So, okay, the rule booklet is in there, work in progress. Let me know. That's great. I like seeing that. The fact that I could go there makes me happy. The King's Quarry, where stone is excavated for the King's Castle. It's designed very clearly. This game is well oiled. Once again, I don't know if I like going back to the well from the same person. You know, I like seeing diversity in the quotes. Even if I don't like the quotes, I still like when I see a lot of different faces. But I understand you paid a lot of money for that video. It's designed very clearly. This game is well oiled. Okay, that's actually okay. It's designed very cleanly. This game is well oiled. What the hell does that mean? I think what they're trying to say is it feels streamlined, but why not just say it feels like this is so. I don't like the fact that it's the same person giving a quote, and I actually don't like this quote at all. It's designed very cleanly. This game is well oiled. F minus. What good is that to me? Like, of the 3 things, do I want to... Maybe... Let me know what you think about that quote. It's designed very cleanly. Are there games that are designed very dirty? The game is well oiled. So it runs smoothly. It runs smoothly, which would go into... I don't know. I just like the quote. And that's not on Shay. It's on, you know, them for picking the quote. Oh, and that was the other thing. Do we have any collaborators? Awesome! Collaborators. Graphic layout, collaborator. Great. So we should have some good customer service. By pledging on this project, you are making CastleScape reality support. We know all this. This seems odd that this is just here. Why back on Kickstarter? Okay. Stretch goals. After fully funding, stretch goals will be added to the campaign page. Per update number 4, we are reconfiguring some of the stretch and social stretch goals. Okay. I guess I'm glad you kind of mentioned that there, because that's going to prevent me from some confusion. Be sure to check back frequently for updates and share the campaign to help unlocking as many possible. So, locked. This is locked. What's locked? Coming soon. Okay. Maybe that's explained in Update 4. Not sure. Card promo pack. Add-on option. Boy, howdy. Don't we all love unlocking things we can buy? Yippee. Now, I understand you have a $55 price point, which means that's a very tight price point. That is a very tight price point, to be honest with you. Especially for all the plastic I assume is going to be in this game. But anywho, yeah, I don't think people generally don't get very excited about, like, oh, hey, now you can buy more stuff from me. I don't know. In 3 and 4 player games, this board spreads out so much, and it's such a satisfying tableau in the end. In 3 and 4 player games, so in the larger player counts, this board spreads out so much because you're going to be building the castle, and it's such a satisfying tableau in the end. But there's also dots there, which means there was something in between that. And once again, I'm worried by the quotes they choose, because there's not better quotes. This board spreads out so much. Okay. Cool. Why do I care? And it's such a satisfying tableau in the end. Now, they threw in the word tableau, which I love, but when I think of tableaus, I generally think of an area that I'm building in front of myself, my own personal pool of, generally, cards. So, once again, I'm just left with, when I really break down this quote, I'm just more confused by it than anything. Like, it's like, oh, it's designed cleanly. You know, so I'm not a big fan of the quotes. So are these actual components, or are these, is that tabletop simulator? I think, yes, that's an actual components. Great. And once again, yeah, I guess I could see that. And that's the other thing. I don't like just how, well, no. You know what? I take that back. I take that completely back. In the video, it was just all 3D rendered instead of the components. Maybe that was something. Maybe when I don't see real components, it scares me a little bit. Because, I don't know. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, BGG. You're gonna put freaking KickTrack before you give me the shipping. Come on, give me the shipping already. That's what I want to know. So cool. So that's a good shot of pieces. I have a prototype copy, and yet I still love those cool castle pieces. They're just something fun and exciting about holding chunky components like that. I hate this quote, and this isn't on Grant. This is on them for using the quote, because I love Grant. Grant's great. You should check out Grant's channel. He's very funny. He's a comedian, so obviously very funny. But what he's saying is, I have the unfinished version of the game, which means the components will change, and yet I still love these unfinished components. So what Grant's doing right here is commenting on the components that won't actually be in the game. They'll be slightly different components. Now, they may be very similar, but still, like, it's just, that's not a Grant. Like, I understand why you'd mention that in a review, but as your quote, it's just like, hey, the pieces are chunky. Good for you. Good for you, CastleScape. You have chunky pieces. Like, how is this worth your time on the quote? Grant didn't say anything more useful about how fun the game is, or how quick the game is, or how it's easy to learn, or easy to teach, or it's streamlined well. He didn't say anything better for you to use than, yeah, they got chunky pieces in the game. There's a lot of games with chunky pieces. I hate to tell you this, but I don't feel like that impresses most people. Let me know in the comments below. Are you impressed by chunky pieces? It's just, and I think there's a difference though. I think metal coins. I don't know. It's the fact that they specifically, like, I feel like this quote would be immediately better if you just got rid of this first part, and it was just, I love these, yeah, just get rid of this whole top line. Love these cool castle pieces. There's just something fun and exciting about holding chunky components like this. I feel like that quote is better than this quote, and I still don't think that's a good quote. How to play on Tabletop Simulator. Awesome. Excellent. Wow, there's a video. Okay. Even better. No, it's not just the link to click me to Tabletop Simulator. It's actually running me through how to do it. That's spectacular. Love it. Cool. So, quotes. CastleScape is the perfect... Okay. I love the unique mixture of mechanisms and how... Okay. I love a deck builder with a board element that isn't just a tableau for cards and it's going... God! It's too fast! It's too fast! A lot of fun and very well... I'm going to get this one. This is a game I must have. I like practically everything about it. CastleScape is the perfect balance of challenging vibrancy and cutthroat strategy. It sticks up. It's too fast. Slow it down. I don't even want to look at these quotes. I hate your quotes. I just hate how you do your quotes. It's either I don't like the quotes, or these are just ridiculously fast. Way too fast. Especially the shorter ones. Alright, previews and testimonials. Final thoughts. Great. It's such a satisfying puzzle. Oh, this is the first time I've really heard about it being a puzzly game, which I think is a little bit of a misstep. Right? Remember back at the beginning where I was like, oh, area control, deck building. Just hit me with those buzzwords. Hit me with those buzzwords, especially in that main teaser image. Because how many people are just going to keep scrolling past? It's such a satisfying puzzle. So that's a good quote. I do like that quote. Once again, we're going back to the well with the same people over and over again. And I understand it looks like you may only have 2 videos. No, you have more than 2 videos. Why doesn't Hungry Gamer get a dang quote? I love the infamy mechanic in this game because it adds another wrinkle beyond the deck building and area control. I do like that quote. Because I watched that Infamy. I thought that was a very interesting aspect. And quite honestly, I wonder if maybe you should have mentioned that a little bit higher as well. You did in the video, but I guess you want to spotlight the deck building and the area control. I get that. But deck building and area control, I think, are less commonly done than, infamy mechanics, mechanism. What is it called? The good and bad. I don't know exactly. I'm sure there's a word for it, but maybe it is the infamy mechanic. So we got previews, all previews. If you understand how a deck builder works, you can learn this game in minutes. Now that is a great quote. That quote should go above all the other quotes. I know you paid tons of money for Rado's run through, but that quote is, if you understand how a deck builder works, you can learn this game in minutes. That's beautiful. That tells me that this game is going to be very simple. Awesome. It tells me that it tells me that the game is going to be very simple in a way that's way better, I think, than just saying it's a very simple game. If you love deck builders with a twist, you are going to love CastleScape. What if you don't love deck builders with a twist? So this is, I guess, this is a better quote than a lot of them, but it's just like, why? And once again, I don't put any of this on the reviewers themselves. When I talk, I'm not expecting to be quoted. Now some reviewers do. Some reviewers absolutely do, and they make sure they have that script, and they have the point A, the point B, the point C, the point D. I will tell you, a little behind the scenes, I have had a script in, my 3,000 plus videos that I've done. I've had probably 6 scripts, 7 scripts. I don't like scripts. I think this game is perfect for the gamer/non-gamer relationship. I think it hits the nails on the head for both parties. So how light is this game? Like, now I'm starting to question the medium-ish weight of this game by you telling me that. Like, I think this game is perfect for non-gamers. Like, area control, deck building, and infamy track? That's a lot for a non-gamer. So now I'm just, I don't know. I would love to try this game. I'm very curious. I certainly recommend this game. It plays very well. It's very polished. I guess that's a good quote that he's saying. I recommend the game. Plays very well. It's very polished. Like these just, I don't know. And once again, I don't know. Retailers, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for shipping. Just shipping. I've just gotten lost in the abyss of everything else that you're showing me. I've gotten too deep into the thing. I still don't know the damn shipping. We welcome certified retailers. Is it in here? Oh, did they do it in here? Let's check. Did they do it in there? Did they? No, they didn't. Okay, because sometimes we click on that. Oh, there's, so the retailer pledge. So there's one pledge on this. There is the access to the pledge manager, the main one, and then retailers. So 17 retailers, 284 people. Same quote, another quote from the same person. I think that this deck building just works. It does have a lot of extra frills. It knows what it's doing, and it does it really well. And honestly, I feel like you're talking too much. I think, like, in and out. Boom, bang, bomb. Just less is more at this point, because I just want to get to the shipping. I don't want to scroll through anymore. I've seen enough. I think at this point, most people are firmly decided whether or not they're going to back this game or not, but you still have not given me crucial information, which is the shipping. I think that this deck building just works. It does have a lot. It doesn't have a lot of extra frills. I thought it had area control and an infamy track. It knows what it's doing, and it does it really well. I don't know. Ooh, I love the shipping section. Look at this. Oh, plus the VAT. Okay. So, that is what it is, but I love the fact that it's so cleanly labeled. Look at this. This looks beautiful. This is a great shipping section already, I'm hoping. $11 anywhere in the United States. I find that perfectly reasonable for how big that box is. And, once again, you gave me a very firm idea of how big the box is, and I don't think that's a bad price at all. $11 for that chunky box? Fine with me. It's got a whole bunch of plastic in it. I feel like it's a good deal. $13 in the UK. $19 to China, $15 to Canada. Wow. Whoever is helping them with their shipping, or if they did the research, good for them. Because these are really solid shipping prices. It costs you $18 roundabout, $18 to $20 to flip to ship a medium flat rate shipping envelope, which can pretty much fit Cards Against Humanity. So, $15, that's really good shipping. Good on you. So they have absolutely crushed the how much is it, aside from putting the shipping, burying the shipping, which I feel like is a total misstep. Like the fact that this is $66 out the door, I think that's your in. I think you need to just have that. $66 shipped anywhere to the continental United States. That's going to get a lot of people's ears perked up. Deck building, area control, light. Light, this is a lighter game. So, I feel like that's the way I would personally lean, is just $66, boom, anywhere in the United States. Because, once again, half the people going to buy this, probably going to be for the United States, going by Kickstarter trends. But look at this. Like, I'm just so confused. 45 to 90 minutes, and yet they're just, like, pounding their chest like, yeah, non-gamers will love this. It worries me. It worries me. FAQ. There's no FAQs. Everything is answered well. Continue onward. All right. Update 4. So it was talked about earlier. I'm very curious to see Update 4. So what's my final ranking on this? Do I want it? I'm going to give it a very tepid check mark still. I just... Something about this Kickstarter, I just don't think clicks on all cylinders. And I would love to hear other people's inputs on it. And you know, and you might say, like, oh, you're being so critical. It's like, well, you know, there's $2 million games out there. There's $100,000 games out there. And this one is struggling to hit the 20,000. Now, they're going to do it. They're definitely going to do it. I shouldn't say they're struggling. But they're not... There's not the launch pad they hope for. Anybody who launches a Kickstarter, except for a very few companies who are just set in their ways, are like, we're never changing anything. Looking at you, Penny, those wallet-sized games. But most people have dreams of grandiose when they launch these Kickstarters. And so, you know, when it doesn't happen, and so this is a very unengaging update. 0 comments, 2 comments, 0 comments, 1 comment. So, very curious to see what these updates are. Let's go. And I'm leaning towards a 1 on this. I would, quite honestly, I think this one, because there's no whale, so I can't give it a 2. So I'm going to give this a 1 and say I would recommend taking the time, watching one of those gameplay videos for the player count that you're actually going to play. And I really want to stress that, because they kind of went out of their way to be like, hey, it's great, 2 players too, it doesn't suck. That's what that quote felt like, haha, you thought area control at 2 players sucks? Well, this one doesn't. And it's like, okay, cool. And then at 3 and 4 players, they're like, hey, it just makes the... I would quite honestly watch a playthrough at whatever player count you are most inclined to play and then make that decision, because I don't feel comfortable with this Kickstarter at all. Mostly for this being a great game. And a lot of those quotes and a lot of the previews and the quotes from the previews send my reviewer sense tingling. Like, I know some of the words that I try to use is when I'm like, oh, I don't particularly like this game the most. And I'm skeptical. I'm worried. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for the huge push we had to reach the Flash funding goal. We reached over 90% funded by 72 hours, so they're having these micro goals. Okay, so what they unlock, which is super exciting. Many have hopped on to get us much closer to the goal, and thank you for that. We didn't reach our goal to unlock the free promo pack by 72 hours, however. Wait, the free card promo pack. We are reworking the stretch and social goals, and we will be including the card promo pack as an add-on option for anyone interested. Okay. And now I immediately don't have any issues with that. I hit them hard on that, but after reading this, I salute them. They knew that they were in some trouble. And they said, well, you know what we can do? We can sit on our hands, and we could just hope things get better sitting down here on the 30th. And who's to say it wasn't even lower before they did this flash funding thing? Or they could take a swing. And they took a swing. And I think they took a great swing. Hey, if we hit this goal, everybody gets free card promo pack. Didn't happen, though. And now they have to adjust. They say, yeah, we can't just give it to you because we haven't even funded. And already it was, you know, I love the idea, though. I have no issues with that at all. And I love the transparency here. That 1 is now getting to be a little bit of a stronger one, just because I like the customer service. The sooner we fund, the more we can offer in terms of stretch goals, and we have some great ones lined up. Well, you know what? You're to the point where I would love to see those. Because the stretch goal you have right now, I'm like, cool, don't care. I like the $55 price tag. I don't want to pay any extra money. At least that's for me personally. I'm a cheapskate. But so maybe it's teasing me with that next stretch goal as well. What's it going to be? Because with a game like this, it could be anything. It could be cards. It could be, you know, upgraded components. I mean, it could be a fancier... Like, what is it? All right. Like, if you have a stretch goal hidden back there that's some fancy-dancy box insert, I would show that sort of thing off. But once again, there's no question here. I always recommend ending with a question because no one has gotten engaged with this. You had 11 people who liked this update, and they probably love the transparency. They probably love the fact that they're seeing someone try something different with these, you know, in the middle of the Kickstarter campaign stretch goals. But get them engaged. Get them in here talking. That's how you're going to get up higher from 30th. You got to tickle the Kickstarter algorithms, as I always say. I should make a shirt that says that, tickle the Kickstarter algorithms. If we finish funding before 72 hours, everyone gets free bonus content. So this is where you mentioned it We are quickly approaching 70 hours. We are so close to unlocking the free promo. If you want to unlock... Okay. And let's see what the comment is. Somebody did leave a comment, and I'm going to guess they responded to it. Let's get this funded. If the fewer people at the $1 pledge actually made the move... Okay. So you do have some people who are active and engaged. Awesome. Not many comments, but that's to be expected with 387 backers. Game looks interesting. Jumped in to try and help that stretch goal. When does it expire? Ooh. So you have someone who jumped in... And now that it's not hit, they're like, they're teetering. Scott C is teetering. And that could be extra bad, which now we see the downside of if you don't hit, hit those shots that you're trying to take, Man, it's an interesting thing. When is the 72-hour went up? Looks like you were close. We were close to meeting it. I believe... Had some time to do my fun and 5 for this campaign. Always fun to share the games I have the most faith in. Oh, so this is someone sharing the reviews. Cool. Awesome. And they also tickled the Kickstarter algorithms for them, so big ups to them. And more importantly, I see good customer service here. And I see a lot that I like on this Kickstarter. It's a very interesting Kickstarter. I feel like they did How Much Is It? Like, just so well. The 3 questions. Can you do it? How much is it? But then there's the other thing. The can you do it? I don't feel comfortable at all. Not even a single tiny little bit. And that's on you for not showing me more. Because when I think of a $55 game, I don't think of 100 plastic castle walls from a first-time designer. You know what I'm saying? When I see a $55 price tag with all this wood, with all these different components, different size cards, different tokens, different doodads, big rule. You got the stupid big rule booklet. Everyone hates the big rule booklet. Can we do away with the big rule booklet? Can we have a talk? I've already awarded this a 1. Can we have a talk? Why do we do the big rule booklet? Why do we do that obnoxiously large square rule booklet? Why can't we just... Oh, I got a crazy idea. Why can't we make it, 9 by 6? Why can't it be just the size of a regular book? Do you really need those extra 3 inches? Now, I wonder if having those extra 3 inches actually saves you a couple pages, or if it just allows most people to just have extra space. But let me know in the comments below. Do you like the square rule booklets, or do you like the rectangular rule booklets? I think this is going to win in a landslide. I'm going to make a poll on it. But anywho... I've almost completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, but there's a lot good going on in this Kickstarter. It's just, I didn't get grabbed by that video. And I think if that video would have just grabbed me. Like, it's like, oh, generic castle fantasy, cool, building a castle artwork that's okay, but I don't feel like this artwork's, like, really gonna just wow anybody. And then we pull back and we see the big box, and there's a lot of good stuff here. It's just, I don't know. It's a very weird Kickstarter. Very weird Kickstarter for me, but apparently also a very weird Kickstarter for most of Kickstarter, which is why it's not currently funded, but it's gonna get funded. And so that's always a good thing when I love seeing games getting funded. So that is CastleScape, the deck building board game. Scheming big guilds compete to spread influence and build a castle while preparing for the king's inspection. Just, I don't, but I'm done. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube. And if you enjoy this sort of content, weird, wacky content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers. Celebrate my 9-year anniversary of making YouTube content. Bye-bye.